Возглавляемая Бутчем Кэссиди Санденсом Кидом, дикая банда была самой знаменитой бандой Запада. Не самое удачное ограбление поезда. Блин, вот бы на банджо научиться играть. Ща. Я шел по их следам несколько месяцев с момента, как они покинули свое убежище в горах Биghorn. Это было отвязное сборище преступников с Бутчем Кэссиди во главе, которые грабили банки и поезда от Колорадо до Монтаны. Среди них был Санденс Кид и этот проклятый подонок, который я выслеживал, Роско Боб Брайант. А вы входили в эту огромную толпу Пинкертонов. Стрельба по брошенному динамиту. Устроить красочные фейерверки. Сказки о врагах за спиной. Что интересного я могу качнуть чуть? Повышенная скорость концентрации. Я уж не помню, а как концентрация. Нет, парень, бродячий цирк меня бы только замедлил. Кроме того, я хотел самолично разобраться с Брайантом. Я услышал о большой партии золота, которую должны были перевезти в Уиллокс, штат Вайоминг. Я предположу, что дикая банда ни за что не пропустит такое сокровище, и, черт побери, оказался прав. Они взорвали мост, намереваясь заставить поезд остановиться. Но он, походу, не остановился. Что же, я решил, что дикая банда, скорее всего, в неповрежденной части поезда высоко сверху. Поэтому у меня не осталось иного выхода, кроме как пробраться через висящие пассажирские вагоны. Читать перестаю в этой игре, это просто невозможно. Слишком быстрая речь, мизерные субтитры. Винтовка или обрезанная винтовка? Обрезанная винтовка мне нравится.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them. From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there.
Запрыгните на мост. Какой мост, это вагон? Ну погнали.
I jumped from the fire van into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to find my way forward past the whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
А что делать?
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Куда? Он спрашивает, он реально задоджил пулю.
It was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Блин, жесть тут все разворотила. Мне кажется, я зря сюда динамит закинул. Ну ладно. Зато секрет легко найти было. Такое затище, блин, без музыки.
Like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about. Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Что? Опять откат? Джо Лефорд, Стеджев Карт, Тим Келлихер, Эльзи Лей, Кит Карри, Бэтч Кэссиди, Сэнденс Кит. Большой отряд против дикой банды. Очередной кит какой-то.
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that?
У меня кто? У меня скорострел.
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they? Only a few stragglers were left, and I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail.
Вообще ни хрена не видно.
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Плосконосый.
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean.
Я не помню, как
And
играть.
Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that. On that very same day,
Он
Butch Cassidy and the
промахнулся.
Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America.
Не знаю, мне кажется, эти дуэли на каких-то лакичах постоянно
They
выигрываю.
ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
Сайлас Грифс утверждает, что его неустанное преследование Боба Брайанта вынудило главарей дикой банды бежать в Южную Америку. Постоянно нажатие кнопки Enter до окончания загрузки считалось бесчестным поступком на Старом Западе. А что это что-то даст? Хотя бы ачивку бы дали. А, ну нифига.
I tried to find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he'd disappeared. Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail, as I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him.
That kid Curry's kinda crazy, ain't he?
Don't let him hear you saying that.
Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute, Colorado.
Who's shooting at us?
Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with a warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down.
Да я не вижу откуда. Он сквозь дерево стреляет или мне пока... А, вон.
Old Bob wasn't among them, and neither was Kid Curry. I could sense him close by, however, plotting something nasty. I just needed a clue as to their whereabouts.
Гравированный рейнджер. Блин, зацените, какой красивый ствол. Блин, ну скорострел поприкольнее, но я уже наигрался с скорострелом. Куда идти-то? Это чё, мап?
And I found one. A map with their bold plan clearly marked. This time they were fixing to blow up a train trestle. Property of the Union Pacific.
Да, это так и есть.
The plan clearly indicated how they were fixing to undermine several of the weakest wooden supports.
Блин, жесть, конечно, вот эти деревянные мосты выглядят просто настолько... Господи. Да, блять, это так страшно. И поэтому едет огромный локомотив.
It was said that he fathered 85 bastard children, though some say it was only 5. Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was gonna rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And that whore, Fat Sally, she told me.
Это шлюха жирная
The
Салли.
bridge was rigged with dynamite, so I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards. A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Don't you blow us up now.
Don't worry.
Пущенный урон в концентрации. Блин, по обрезанному дробовику с 2, конечно, дробовиков ходить. Возьмем баф на динамит. Я не вижу, кто мяукает.
But the Wild Bunch did not take kindly to my presence and attempted to blow my head off. It appeared the kid had found a number of new recruits to bolster their ranks. Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
What happened next?
Well, having removed the first bundle of dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one. Once that was done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
Бля. Откуда, я не понимаю. Бля.
What happened then?
Had to remove more of that damn dynamite.
Блин, они с дробовиком тут гоняют.
It must have been terrifying trying to make your way across.
I was sweating it a bit, but then I noticed a footbridge tied up on high, so I shot the rope.
О!
Now you're really pissing me off. Well, he's way through the
Ты я просто не вижу.
So that was all the dynamite?
Funny you should mention that, darling. As actually there was a fourth charge impeding my progress.
Да он хоть неуловимый.
Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear.
Говорит мне, покажись, трус, и при этом сам сидит где-то под укрытием каким-то.
So I proceeded onward and realized that that way just wasn't gonna work. I needed an alternate path forward.
Я иду назад.
Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch
Горел
it.
с дьявольской скоростью.
The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost sight of those sparks. My heart was pounding like a sledgehammer. I knew that failure meant boom. Then, finally, at the last moment. Whew. Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today. Naturally, I removed the last dynamite charge. Well, it was a touching reunion. But by this time, I was thoroughly exhausted and dragging my ass, as I was not a young man anymore.
Блин, он еще и маг земли. Да, с этими перестановками мапы, конечно. Вот по такому просто есть. Ну, блин, как же хочется в РДР, ё-моё.
kill that SOB. Make him bleed. Send him to
Finally, I found those boys, or more precisely, they
Склад
found me.
мертвых чуваков.
this crazy. Get dirty ass me. Dirtier than a damn
Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Kid Curry opened up on me with a goddamn Gatling gun. It was hidden in this tunnel and pretty well shielded.
Я сдох. Кит Карри. А чё не Кади?
believe you keep missing.
Luckily, I had located some dynamite. I still, however, had my work cut out for me.
Shit, I gotta reload? Damn! I'm with you!
Бля. Я не успел. Вы погибли. Ты как он так быстро перезаряжает? Я не спрятался. Это просто ковбой, сука, несусь на мой блок. Ладно. Не буду. Ну как?
Eventually, I brought that tunnel down. And that's when I met Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally.
Где он?
Cut you a new smile.
Они супер быстро выхватывают. Я вот этого не понимаю. У меня даже реакции меньше половины секунды. Время реакции.
Fast as he was, I was just a bit faster. And as he lay wounded, I demanded to know the whereabouts of Roscoe Bob Bryant. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him.
Это были его последние слова.
Those were his last words.
Получилось. Честно убито. Блин, кушать так-то хочется, на самом деле. Отсылка на жмур. Где?
So, Bob Bryant got away?
I knew I'd never find him in South America.
What about the other killer?
Yeah, you kind of glossed over that one.
Well, I found Jim not long after my showdown with Ringo. At the time, he was riding with the James Younger gang.
Gang.
Did I neglect to mention that?
Блин, вот бы...
James, the greatest outlaw who ever lived?
Вот бы дуэль с Яспером Макглотом.
Jesse and his kin rode with Quantrill when he raided Lawrence, Kansas, and killed near 200 people, boy.
Ah, nothing great about that.
And from there, him and his brother went on to rob banks and trains from Kansas to Missouri.
Which is why there was such a rich bounty on their heads. 40 grand for both of them, dead or alive. That's one hell of a payday.
Смерть верхом на стальном жеребце. По словам Сайлоса, один из убийц его братьев грабил поезда с Джесси Джеймсом. Блин, что-то «Пиратов Карибского моря» посмотреть захотелось.
I confronted them as they were robbing a train. Bullets were flying at me from every which way.
Нет, с скорострелом приятнее всего.
How'd they stop this train in the first place?
Well, the James boys were experts at this.
Эй, ну нет, в смысле? Сеть поездов, да, Railway Empire назывался, по легенде. Мог одним взглядом остановить поезд. Джесси Джеймс. Ну и бред.
They hopped a freight train, having heard there was a big payroll in the express safe. So, I hopped the same train. The James Younger gang was decimated after that little fiasco they had in Northfield, Minnesota. So Jesse needed more men and took on the killer I was after, along with a host of others. I was hoping to find my man and put a bullet in his head. Climbing around that train, I must have swallowed 100 damn bugs before I reached
James
that.
Younger gang were the first train robbery west of the Mississippi.
Sounds like you hold them in high regard.
Everyone knows they were the most famous outlaw gang ever.
And you took them all on by your lonesome. Again, I'm finding this all a little hard to swallow, friend.
Well, maybe you need to wash it down with some whiskey. By the way, did I mention that that train was flying down those tracks like a bat out of hell?
Ну, не среагировал и взорвал себе рот. Кто кого? Я победил. Жесть.
Anyway, excuse me, Ben. Where would I find the gentleman's facilities? Suddenly I have an urgent need to drain my one-eyed snake. Well, I've had more than a few
One-eyed,
drinks.
одноглазую
Been
змею.
sitting here for quite a spell.
Right through there. Let me show
I've
you.
never heard so much malarkey in my life.
You think he's bullshitting us?
You don't think he's Silas Greaves?
I think he's just some old drunk looking for some free liquor.
I don't know, Jack. I think I believe him. You don't think he met Jesse James?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That story makes no sense at all.
Jack.
I mean, you gotta be 2 bricks short of a load to believe that cock and bull story.
I don't agree.
Jack, lay off the
But
bar.
you seriously think that tired old man went toe-to-toe with Jesse James?
Well, that's better. Did I mention that this Jim was married to the infamous Belle Star?
Я должен был найти эту фигню.
Anyway, I made my way forward the best I could. Around the sides, over the roof. At some point, some sumbitch saw me and shouted out, "It's a damn Pinkerton!" It's a damn Pinkerton! Now, I never worked for that limey cocksucker, but I guess they assumed I was one of his assassins. Those evil bastards firebombed Jesse's mother's house and killed his stepbrother.
Что? Блин, в игре ни хрена абсолютно не видно. Ни хрена непонятно, кто в тебя стреляет, откуда. Про этого чела я забыл. В этот раз он меня задолбил. Тут я просто на банане подскользнулся. Такое тоже бывает.
So it's no wonder each and every asshole on that train wanted me dead.
Everybody's always mistaking you for somebody else, aren't they? Why is that, I wonder?
Don't rightly know, Jack. I'm just telling you how I remember.
Ладно, пофиг. Не знаю, что вкачал. Если мне сейчас в туза просто настреляют.
I came across a flat car piled high with logs and had to come up with a creative way to make my way forward.
Ну вот что меня раздамажило, я просто не понимаю.
I wondered if I was ever going to find the front of that train, or the bastard I was after. Jesse hired a damn army after Northfield. Guess he didn't want to be outgunned like that ever again. Right about then, I was attacked by some asshole on a Gatling gun.
Yeah, seems like you run into a lot of them.
Asshole?
Asshole?
Gatling guns.
Yes, I did. Now, I don't remember how I took it out. It was either a bullet or dynamite.
Where would you find dynamite?
Does it really matter, Jack? You're messing with the flow of the story here.
Он меня тут видит? Наверное, Блэк. Я не знаю, кто такой Блэк из Mortal Kombat. Блин, жесть, я в щель прострелил.
I was looking for Jim, shooting any son of a bitch stupid enough to get in my way. And that included Jesse James himself. sure were a lot of men determined to die that day. It was then that Jesse detached the express car from the rest of the damn train.
И меня убило какой-то дресней. Эльвисто. Да, вот это мне нравится. Это стильно.
I could see Jesse waiting for me, fixing to kill me so he could get away with all that money.
Хорошо, я решил не бежать.
You had a showdown with Jesse James?
Of course he didn't. Everybody knows that Jesse was killed by Bob Ford.
Yeah. Jesse went out like John Wesley Hardin. Coward shot him in the back of the head.
Guess it doesn't matter how far you run, does it, Ben? Your past always catches up with you. Yeah, I didn't kill Jesse James.
Да, я не убил Джесси Джеймса, я только ранил его достаточно тяжело, чтобы заставить бросить оружие.
What about that Jim
В
fella?
смысле
What
ранил?
happened to him?
I figure he was up front with a gun to the engineer's head. That bastard slipped away again. I'll tell you how I got him. But first I need to wet my whistle.
Промочить горло. День какая-то дресня за дресней. Дресня на дресне. Ну, захватись, пожалуйста. Осталось только, чтобы еще сегодня тоже упало нахрен и качество забрало. Будет великолепно.
After my showdown with Jesse, I continued to track his brother, Frank, and that son of a bitch Jim.
Вчера был позитивный. Не.
I followed those bastards into the high mountains as they were going to ground.
What mountains would that be?
Somewhere in the Ozarks, I believe. The perfect place to hide out from the
Враждебные
authorities.
территории.
In fact, before I could find them, some Indians who fled the res and were hiding out from the military
Опять
found me
Апачи.
first. They probably thought I was a cavalry scout and didn't want me telling the military where they were.
Engines?
Yeah, they could have been Cheyenne, but there was all sorts of renegades roaming the landscape back then.
Там солнце водолей в слабой позиции, все плохо. Но я не водолей, я козерог. Или на это всем наплевать? Там все
Hey,
плохо.
how about another whiskey, Ben? Nothing better to soothe the troubled soul.
Блин, по итогу будет прикольно, если по сюжету окажется, что чел реально сказочник, и все вот эти байки он просто
Now, where
выдумал.
was I? Indians, right. I had more than my share of run-ins with the red man. Like that time. Did I tell you about Grey Wolf?
Yes, sir. You did.
Ah, of course I did.
Ой,
In fact, I could still remember that old medicine man's words to me.
Jesus Christ, we're back to that again.
You carry great darkness in your heart. It will claim your soul.
ну-ка они сквозь кусты меня
You will
прострелили.
come to this place again and kill many more men.
Это научит их. А где винтовка-то?
Darkness will grow until it consumes everything you are.
Со всех сторон. Повышенная конфликтность. Ну, вообще похоже на то.
Like that time. Did I tell you
Как
about
будто
Grey
просто
Wolf?
невозможно сосуществовать с другими людьми.
In fact, I could still remember that old medicine man's words to me.
Jesus Christ, we're back to that again.
You carry great darkness in your heart. It will claim your soul. You will come to this place again and kill many more men.
Ну, чего только башка торчит, он все равно попасть не может.
Will grow until it consumes everything you are.
Да почему я выбегаю? Мне хочется на каком-то эпике выбежать. Но по итогу меня просто выпускают, как дурачка, который в поле выбегает.
Like that time. Did I tell you about Grey Wolf?
Yes, sir. You did.
Of course I did. In fact, I could still remember that old medicine man's words to me.
Jesus Christ, we're back to that again.
You carry great darkness in your heart. It will claim your soul. You will come to this place again and kill many more men. And the darkness will grow until it consumes everything you are.
So, did you ever find it? Who? The man you were after.
Let me ask you something, Ben. You ever think about death?
Все.
Mr. Greaves, are you all right?
Накручивать все нужно лишь 100 грамм. Слышь, ты позитивный. Ну-ка вышел бы со своим позитивом. Не знаю, что это будет за подсказ.
Won't you spare me over till another year? What is this that I can't see with ice cold hands taking hold of me? Well, I am death, none can excel. I'll open the door to heaven or hell. Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over till another year?
Жесть. Красиво. Ладно, если ты так просишь, давай. А то сидит тут, распыляет позитив свой. Мы тут таких не любим.
Oh, death, someone would pray. Could you wait to call me another day? No wealth, no land, no silver, no gold. Nothing satisfies me but your soul.
Я должен увернуться от этого.
Oh, death, won't you spare me over to another year?
So are you gonna answer the question?
What question is that?
Jim Reed. Did you ever find him?
Reed was indeed that son of a bitch's surname. That's right, Ben. A despicable character.
По одному кадру
I remember him
двигается.
laughing like a hyena that cold morning they lynched me and my brothers. He was intent on avoiding my vengeance, but nothing was gonna stop me. Nothing.
Nothing. Oh, Frank James. Damn.
I finally did track those outlaws down. They had long rifles with scopes and were well positioned to pick off any poor soul who came anywhere close. I'm guessing Frank James believed I was responsible for the demise of his brother Jesse. I couldn't really disagree with the man, as I thought Jesse was dead then as well.
Он убежал.
He backed off as I closed in on him, but he was still intent on killing me. Now, when I closed in on him again, he backed off again, looking for a better angle. Hell, I can't fault Frank for wanting his revenge, as I was there for the same damn reason myself. At this point, I'm guessing you think Silas Greaves is a worse murderer than Jim Reed ever was.
No, sir.
A man who spent half his life killing somebody's brothers, fathers, sons.
I think you were just looking for justice, sir.
Is that what I was looking for, Dwight? Is that what it was? Justice?
Isn't that why you were hunting the James gang?
The James gang. Right. I finally found Frank holed up in his mountain cabin, and he was determined to have me dead. It was a pitched battle that could have gone either way. Luckily, I had some dynamite in my possession.
Dynamite? On your person?
A few sticks, just in case. It's always good to be prepared.
Right.
I'm just laying out the facts as I remember them, Jack.
Жесть, что я натворил там.
That old shack? Well, it went tumbling right off that cliff.
With Frank James still in it?
Yes, sir.
But Frank James is still alive, living in Missouri, showing folks around the family farm for 25 cents a tour.
I didn't say he died in the fall, now did I?
I'm done with this damnable outlaw life. Kill me, don't kill me, do what you will. At this point, I just don't give a shit.
I explained to Frank that I had nothing against him personally and that I was looking for someone else.
You want Reed? Have at him. I never did like that bastard. I am done here.
We parted in peace as Frank pointed out the path to my prey before making his way back down the hill.
Самородок, блин. Стоп, а я то же самое подобрал? Ё-моё.
So what happened with Reed?
Динамит
Well, I
кончился.
finally found the last of the gang hiding in a nearby cave. First, I had to dispatch the lookouts, as I was determined not to let that murderer escape my revenge again. But rather than wander in willy-nilly, I decided it would be better to smoke that sumbitch out. Hey, Reed! I shouted. No wonder you're so ornery. Can't be easy being married to Belle Starr. While you're off providing for the family, she's spreading her legs for every Tom, Dick, and Cole Younger. Not an attractive woman exactly, but very friendly.
Некрасивая,
At
но
least
зато
she
очень
was to me.
гостеприимная.
Son of a bitch!
It was then that the last bunch of bandits jumped out of hiding.
Asshole, give up! Would someone please kill him?
Я чуть не застрелил сталактит или сталагмит или...
Eventually, it was just me and Reed.
Жесть, он угор.
I had waited a long time to face him down, so I could repay him for what he did to my brothers. And repay him I did.
А, это тот самый чел, которого мы искали с самого начала, чтобы отомстить.
Well, I don't know about you boys.
Не знаю, как вы, парни, но я подустал.
Well,
Да уж, чертовски жаль, что вы так и не нашли этого Боба. Должно быть, это неправильно, что он так и не заплатил за сделанное. Я не нашел.
Well, funny thing about that.
Есть интересный момент. Однажды мне выпал еще один шанс достать его. А, это не конец. Эпизод 7. Дикая банда. 6 месяцев назад до меня дошли слухи, что Буч и Санденс вернулись в Штаты и собрали часть людей из своей прежней банды. Я выследил их, надеясь, что Роско Боб Брайант вернулся с ними. Когда вы утверждаете, что они не погибли в Боливии, именно это я и утверждаю. Хороший, плохой, мертвый. Салес быстро разделался с Джонни Ринго и Джимом Ридом, но Роско Боб Брайант очень долго что-то там скрывался.
For 40 years I had waited to get my hands on the last of my brother's killers. Not even an army of demons could have stopped me now. Both Johnny Ringo and Jim Reed fell fairly quickly. But the last one, Roscoe Bob Bryant. That son of a bitch had managed to escape my vengeance time and time again. I couldn't even be certain I'd recognize him after all those years. By now, he had to be close to 70.
For all you know, he could have been dead.
That thought had indeed crossed my mind,
Жесть.
as did others.
Что произошло?
For instance, did my thirst for vengeance turn me into something worse than the man I was after? By this point in my storied career, I had killed more men than Bob Bryant ever had.
Больше, чем
I
Боб
was
Брайант.
furious as hell at that bastard for making me who I am. A man with no family, no friends, no purpose except shooting Bob Bryant dead. Nothing could stop me from taking his
Жесть. Пока я
life.
тут пушки разглядывал.
I've been after that killer forever. From the time I rode with Billy the Kid. But that chapter of my story you already know.
Я хотел бы скорострел взять.
Chapter of that fairy tale, you mean?
Suddenly it was 1910. There I was, an old man roaming a ghost town dead almost 2 decades.
А, ну, я никогда эти секреты не искал, правильно? Можно и не начинать. Я только не понимаю, куда идти.
Town was falling apart, just like me. But I wasn't about to call it quits.
То есть он реактивным киборгом стал каким-то. На другом конце мапы видит. Стоп, а мы были в этом городе? Я, не могу читать субтитры из-за того, что смотрю.
Even though the ghosts of my dead brothers were begging me to end what I started so long ago.
Mr. Graves, are you all right? Would you like some water?
The Wild Bunch knew I was there. They were after a treasure they had hidden before they fled, buried in the grave of a dead amigo. Some folks think the town is haunted, so they figured there wouldn't be many people poking around. I intended to fill that grave with Bob Bryant's corpse. But like I said, the bandits knew I was on to them. They lured me in and hit me with everything they had.
Блин, там динамит. Я могу как-то...
Obviously prevailed since you said that.
Actually, in that moment, I did not prevail.
So I suppose we're talking to a ghost.
Funny you should put it like that, Jack.
Убит?
Because when I woke up,
Когда я очнулся...
From the dead?
There was silence all around me.
Ну он чё, шиз, ему это все
I
привиделось?
saw Billy then.
Billy who?
Billy, the kid. William Bonney. He was shooting at me from a rooftop.
Чё, кто ж стрелял с крыши?
Here, there, even over there.
So I am right. You are touched in the head.
Ты тронулся
Mr.
головой.
Greaves, perhaps we should switch you to coffee?
You see that old Indian again, too?
No, but I did see Billy's killer. Patrick Floyd Garrett. He came at me guns a-blazing. But I knew that old war horse had died 2 years before. I wondered if maybe I was dead too and confronting the ghosts of my past. Perhaps all my sins were coming back to haunt me and drag me down to perdition.
Город-призрак.
I saw Henry Plummer throw
Ты
dynamite
в
at
таком
me.
графине увидеть призраков.
And in the gates of the cemetery, I saw John Wesley Hardin, just like I remembered him. Robert Ollinger appeared with his terrible double-barrel shotgun. But no ghost army was stopping me.
My father-in-law got hit with a fallen branch. He spent the rest of his life talking to dogs.
Newman Hayes Clanton, William Brocious, John Peters Ringo, they all wanted me dead.
Ты кто? Откуда? Ладно.
Newman Hayes Clanton, William Brocious, John
Я
Peters
все-таки
Ringo, they
сдох.
all wanted me dead.
Вы отклоняетесь, говорит, от истории. Какой истории есть? Ни хрена не
Dalton
видно.
brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead. George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond. Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed, each one deader than the next. I thought I would go crazy. Thought.
Как же это выглядело со стороны, что мужик просто на кладбище в разные стороны стреляет.
Finally, I saw Harry Alonzo Longabaugh,
The Sundance Kid?
like a general leading his legion of the dead.
You told us before that you'd see him alive.
He was alive.
Давай. Заново?
heard a voice call to me from afar. It was Robert Leroy Parker, a.k.a. Butch Cassidy, coming at me from out of the fog.
Thanks for taking care of that bastard.
Дуэль с призраком? Нет? Буч Кэссиди. Санденс Кид. Сайлас Грифс. Хороший, плохой и мертвый. Ну, посередине мы.
But the kid wasn't quite
Но Кит не был мертв, еще не был.
Takes more than one little bullet to kill the likes of me, partner.
Those two looked like they hadn't seen each other for quite a while. Clearly, they were no longer amigos.
Shit. I was hoping I wouldn't have to kill you. You won't have to, Butch. I'm killing you first.
I asked them about Bob Bryant, but they were too busy with their own heated conversation.
Let me get this shit straight. You want my money and the love of my life?
You frittered it all away, Butch. Edda's mine. So is that damn money.
I didn't want to shoot anybody until I had an answer to my question, but those boys didn't give me much of a choice.
В мексиканской дуэли используется куе для переключения фокуса на противника, который смотрит на вас. Какая же срань. Тут их теперь двое. Мексиканская дуэль. Они оба на меня смотрят одновременно. Как же это плохо сделано.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid died there in that cemetery not 6 months ago.
Жесть. Блин, что этот пальчик не очень смотрится с хайлайтами.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were killed by the Bolivian army. Everybody knows that.
That's the legend, but it ain't the truth.
So, you never found Bob?
There is no Bob. This old sumbitch ain't even Silas Greaves.
Sir, is that true? Have you been pulling our legs this whole time?
Well, not the whole time.
Oh, man, I think you've worn out your welcome here.
Maybe you're right, Jack. Maybe it's time to pay. You see, Ben, or should I say Bob, your past always catches up with you.
О, это был дед.
I was a different man back then, crazy. Drinking, I
Чокнутым
changed my ways,
пьяницей.
I swear to you. If I could turn back the clock,
But you can't, Bob.
Выберите свою судьбу. Да, конечно, месть. Мы всю игру прошли ради мести.
Why'd you toy with me like that? Telling those tales, knowing all along. Why not just lay your cards on the table?
Here. I won't have it said that I left you with nothing.
That's how you want it? So be it.
Месть за братьев.
Holy shit!
Molly, move against that wall. Go!
Ну, какой-то он нереспектабельный, так сказать, дед. Как он разговаривает, если я ему башку прострелил? Но Бен победил. Но это был страшный сон. Дядя Бен, большая сила — это большая ответственность.
Oh my God! Oh Jesus!
Did you know it was him all along?
Cassidy told me Bob was in Abilene before he died. But I wasn't sure Ben was my man until he revealed how much he knew about Ringo and Reed. The coin, of course. Well, that was the last nail in that particular coffin.
I better go get the sheriff.
You okay, boy? You're looking mighty shook up.
Dwight, maybe you best go home. Young Eisenhower here is leaving for West Point tomorrow. He shouldn't get caught up in something like this.
I think I might head out myself at this juncture. Unless you want to stop me, Jack.
No, sir, Mr. Greaves.
So where are you going now? Now that you had your revenge?
Doesn't really matter, does it?
Я продал свою душу за нее и все равно никогда снова не увижу тех, кого потерял. Здесь он крут. Не, кайф игра. Если бы была озвучка и менее вырвиглазный графин, был бы вообще великолепно. Я думал, песня, кстати, будет, но нет, просто саундтрек. Доступна новая игра плюс, начать новую историю, сохранить все открыть навыки оружия, доступен новый супер настоящий запад, пройти игру еще раз с минимум индикаторов на экране и повышенной сложности, чтобы почувствовать вкус настоящего вестерна. Звучит на самом деле заманчиво на такой сложности пройти. Вспоминание 14, это все заново надо будет проходить? Мне просто интересно, что будет, если пощадить.
Well, I don't know about you boys, but I'm pretty beat.
Well, it's too
Да, похоже, заново. Обе дуэли. Несколько человек даже в 20 веке выдавали себя за беляки. На основании этих случаев были сняты фильмы. Можете прослушать
40
перераз...
years I had waited to get my hands on the last of my brother's killers. Not even an army of demons could have stopped me now. Both Johnny Ringo and Jim Reed fell fairly quickly. But the last one, Roscoe Bob Bryant. That son of a bitch had managed to escape my vengeance time and time again. I couldn't even be certain I'd recognize him after all those years. By now, he had to be close to 70.
For all you know, he could have been dead.
That thought had indeed crossed my mind, as did others.
Ну, у меня почему-то выскочила менюшка оружия, и после этого мне кнопку перекрыла. Словил перекрытие.
Nothing could stop me from taking his life. I'd been after that killer forever. From the time I rode with Billy the Kid. But that chapter of my story you already know.
Chapter of that fairy tale, you mean?
Suddenly it was 1910. There I was, an old man roaming a ghost town dead almost 2 decades. The town was falling apart, just like me. But I wasn't about to call it quits. Even though the ghosts of my dead brothers were begging me to end what I started so long ago.
Mr. Graves, are you all right? Would you like some water?
The Wild Bunch knew I was there. They were after a treasure they had hidden before they fled, buried in the grave of a dead amigo. I intended to fill that grave with Bob Bryant's corpse. But like I said, the bandits knew I was on to them. They lured me in and hit me with everything they had.
А чё не пишет, в голову или не в голову? Блин, это уже высокая сложность, что ли?
Actually, in that moment, I did not prevail.
So I suppose we're talking to a ghost.
Funny you should put it like that, Jack. Because when I woke up...
From the dead?
There was silence all around me. I could swear to God I saw Billy then.
Billy who?
Billy, the kid. William Bonney. He was shooting at me from a rooftop. Here and there. Even over there.
So I am right. You are touched in the head.
Mr. Greaves, perhaps we should switch you to coffee?
You see that old Indian again, too?
No, but I did see Billy's killer. Patrick Floyd Garrett. He came at me guns a-blazing, but I knew that old war horse had died 2 years before. I wondered if maybe I was dead too and confronting the ghosts of my past. Perhaps all my sins were coming back to haunt me and drag me down to perdition. I saw Henry Plummer throw dynamite at me. In the gates of the cemetery, I saw John Wesley Hart, just like I remembered him.
Ни хрена не видно вообще, абсолютно. Мне кажется,
Robert Ollinger appeared with his terrible double-barrel shotgun. The no ghost army was stopping me.
My father-in-law got hit with a fallen branch. He spent the rest of his life talking to the dogs.
Newman Hayes Clanton, William Brocious, John Peters Ringo, they all wanted me dead. The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead. George
Те же
Curry and
самые
Harvey
челики.
Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond. Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed, each one deader than the next. I thought I would go crazy.
Thought?
не видно нихуя.
Finally, I saw Harry Alonzo Longabaugh.
The Sundance Kid?
Like a general leading his legion of the dead.
You told us before you've seen him alive.
He was alive.
Да в смысле вы отклоняетесь?
Then I heard a voice call to me from afar. It was Robert Leroy Parker, a.k.a. Butch Cassidy, coming at me from out of the fog.
Thanks for taking care of that bastard.
Это я могу скипнуть?
But the kid wasn't quite deceased. Not yet.
Takes more than one little bullet to kill the likes of me, partner.
Those two looked like they hadn't seen each other for quite a
Честно, какие
while.
они партнеры?
Clearly, they
Те
were no
самые?
longer amigos.
Shit. I was hoping I wouldn't have to kill you.
You won't have to, Butch. I'm killing you first.
I asked them about Bob Bryant, but they were too busy with their own heated conversation.
Let me get this shit straight. You want my money and the love of my life?
You frittered it all away, Butch. Eda's mine. So is that damn money.
I didn't want to shoot anybody until I had an answer to my question, but those boys didn't give me much of a choice.
Мексиканская дуэль. Да дайте, мужики. Ну я же уворачивался. Вот это вот 0,3 секунды просто скорость реакции. Человеческие рефлексы демонстрирую и умираю при этом. Прям мужики вечеров летят надо мной. Они вот так вот постоянно переглядывают.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid died there in that cemetery not 6 months ago.
Но меня интересует концовка. А тут не дают концовку переиграть? Какого хера? Только, наверное, через новую игру плюс, да?